The rain had just stopped, leaving the streets glistening under the soft golden glow of evening lights. Daniel Hartley, a self-made millionaire and a single father, stood frozen at the edge of the park, his breath caught somewhere between panic and disbelief. Just minutes ago, his world had nearly collapsed. His 3-year-old daughter, Lily, had vanished. One moment she was holding his hand, laughing at the pigeons, and the next, she was gone. Every second since had felt like an eternity, his mind racing through the darkest possibilities. But now, across the quiet pathway lined with autumn trees, he saw her, his little girl, in the arms of a stranger. The man holding Lily looked calm, composed, almost too calm. He stood near an old oak tree, gently rocking her as if he had done it 1,000 times before. Daniel's heart pounded violently against his chest. 1,000 thoughts flooded his mind, kidnapping, danger, fear, but something about the scene didn't match the chaos inside him. Lily wasn't crying. She wasn't struggling. In fact, she looked safe. Without thinking, Daniel rushed forward, his polished shoes splashing through shallow puddles. "Hey! That's my daughter," he shouted, his voice sharp and commanding, the same tone he used in boardrooms where people feared disappointing him. The stranger turned slowly, his expression unreadable but not startled. He looked at Daniel, then down at Lily, who clutched the man's shirt gently, her tiny fingers refusing to let go. "I know," the man said softly. Those 2 words stopped Daniel in his tracks. "What do you mean, you know?" Daniel demanded, stepping closer, his fists tightening. "Give her to me. Now." The stranger didn't resist. Carefully, almost respectfully, he handed Lily back. The moment she was in Daniel's arms, he held her tighter than ever before, burying his face in her hair, inhaling the familiar scent that grounded him. "Lily, don't ever do that again," he whispered, his voice cracking despite his usual composed demeanor. But something felt off. Lily wasn't reaching back toward him the way she normally did. Instead, she kept looking over his shoulder, at the stranger. "Daddy," she said softly, "he helped me." Daniel turned again, this time more cautiously. "Helped you?" The stranger nodded. She wandered toward the street. A car was coming fast. "I just reacted." Daniel's anger faltered, replaced by a wave of guilt so sudden it almost made him dizzy. He looked down at Lily, imagining what could have happened if that man hadn't been there. His grip softened. "Thank you," Daniel said, though the words felt small compared to what he owed. The stranger gave a slight nod, as if gratitude wasn't something he needed. But Daniel wasn't done. Something about the man felt familiar, not in appearance, but in presence. There was a quiet strength, a calmness that didn't belong to a random passerby. "What's your name?" Daniel asked. The man hesitated for just a second. "Ethan." "Ethan. I owe you more than just a thank you. Please, let me at least." "You don't owe me anything," Ethan interrupted gently. "Just, take care of her." That should have been the end of it. A stranger saves a child, the father thanks him, and they go their separate ways. But life rarely follows simple scripts. As Daniel adjusted Lily in his arms, preparing to leave, she spoke again, this time louder, more certain. "Daddy," he was crying. Daniel frowned. "Crying?" Ethan's expression shifted for the first time, a flicker of something raw, something hidden. "It's nothing," Ethan said quickly. But Daniel had built his empire by reading people, by seeing what others missed. And right now, he saw pain. "Why were you crying?" Daniel asked, softer this time. Ethan looked away, his jaw tightening. "I had a daughter," he said after a long pause. "About her age." The world seemed to go silent around them. "What do you mean, had?" Daniel asked, already dreading the answer. "She died last year," Ethan replied, his voice steady but hollow. "A drunk driver." Daniel felt something inside him break. Suddenly, everything made sense, the way Ethan held Lily, the calmness, the tears. This wasn't just a stranger helping a child. This was a father, reliving a moment he wished he could change. I'm so sorry," Daniel said, and for once, the words didn't feel empty. Ethan nodded, but didn't speak. For a moment, neither of them moved. The air between them was heavy with something deeper than coincidence, it was connection, pain, and understanding. "Would you join us for coffee?" Daniel asked unexpectedly. Ethan looked surprised. "That's not necessary." "I know," Daniel said. "But I'd like you to." After a brief hesitation, Ethan agreed. That evening changed everything. What started as a simple act of kindness turned into an unlikely friendship. Ethan didn't want money, didn't ask for favors, didn't try to impress. He simply showed up, with quiet strength, patience, and a warmth that Daniel realized had been missing from his and Lily's life. Over time, Lily grew attached to Ethan, and Daniel found himself trusting him in ways he hadn't trusted anyone since his wife passed away. Ethan wasn't just a stranger anymore, he became family. And one day, months later, as Daniel watched Ethan teaching Lily how to fly a kite, laughing freely under the same golden autumn sky where they first met, he realized something profound. Sometimes, the scariest moments in life lead to the most beautiful connections. Sometimes, losing something makes room for something unexpected to enter. And sometimes, a stranger holding your child isn't the beginning of a nightmare, but the start of a miracle. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next story might just change the way you see the world.